this week's movie, Homestead. It's like we have the world of Taylor Sheridan and Yellowstone blending with the world of Angel Studios. Mix in a nuclear bomb and some simple syrup, and maybe we have a tasty movie cocktail here or not. Who knows? Well, I do, and so will you, after this spoiler-free episode of Movies Merica Live.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Hello, everybody. Hey, happy Sunday. Welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica Live, a Homestead edition of Movies Merica Live. And as always, I am your humble host, Van Ebert. Well, not too humble, but humble enough. Okay, so I pretend to be humble on this show and then go back to being absolutely zero humility while the cameras are off right there. But and that being said right there, first off, I want to welcome my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics out there in the world, and welcome to this episode. And also, just to remind you real quick, you don't have to just hear me, yap this whole show, because nothing's more boring than me just up here going nip, 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 the whole time. All right. You can live chat with me on Rumble and YouTube as well. Okay. So, and I will do my best to check the live chat, check the comments. And if you comment on there, hey, I just might put your comment up on the screen. Pretty likely I will. Okay. But you got to, take the ball and run with it. You got to actually put a comment in the live chat. And again, we're talking about Homestead today. But hey, push comes to shove, you want to talk to me about any movie in the comments, that's totally cool. All right, but we are going to get the ball rolling on this Homestead show right here. And so this movie, Homestead, as you may have heard, it's based on the Black Autumn book series written by a couple of dudes named Jeff Kirkham and Jason Ross. And Ross owns the actual homestead, the protective compound that's featured in this movie in real life. And that takes me into the plot of this movie. And I'm not going to do a deep dive on the plot. I'm not going to get all surgical on it. I'm just going to give you the broad strokes of the plot. But the plot of Homestead is you've got a couple of terrorists. They detonate a nuclear bomb off the coast of LA. It looks like they're like right off the coast of the Santa Monica Pier, right, in LA. They detonate a nuclear bomb there, and that sets off a whole chain of catastrophic events. Obviously, it disrupts the normalcy of the country. And then later on, we learn that the entire power grid, all the power grids in the United States are completely down. So no one has power. So you're talking about like no food, no shelter, starvation, and basic just the tenets of how we live with each other start breaking down. People start going from being human beings and acting civil to turning into animals, basically. And so we've got a couple of families in the LA area that they know to head to this place called Homestead, hence the name of the movie. And then Neal McDonough's character runs this homestead. He's a billionaire, and he's got this protective compound place up in the Rockies in Colorado that it's called Homestead. And so we have a guy named Jeff, who's an ex-Green Beret. It's implied, it's implied he lives in LA. I could be wrong about that. I've only seen the movie once. But he grabs his family. He heads to the to Homestead because Neal McDonough's character has called him up and hired him to come there to protect his family and Homestead. Then we have another family, and it's the sister of Neal McDonough's character there that's trying to get to her brother's homestead. And so they all converge on the homestead eventually, and the homestead is supposed to be this survival compound for just such an event like this nuclear detonation / power grid attack, basically right there. And it's so that's like the broad strokes of the plot right there. That's setting the table for the rest of the movie right there. So yeah, we'll get more into Homestead here because I got so much to say about this movie here. And so one thing that makes this movie compelling is how it pits the cynical, suspicious, isolationist attitude. There you go. Whoa, easy for me to say. Isolationist attitude versus the trust in God that people are good and won't turn on those that chose to help them attitude. So, and at the end, this movie does choose one of those over the other. And that likely still won't reconcile with all people that watch this movie, to be perfectly honest with you. A nuclear detonation coupled with all power grids nationwide going down after being attacked will create a cataclysm that will show who people really are, as you would imagine, right? People, we all act civilized with each other. We all, hey, Joe, how you doing? Hey, that lawn's looking great, brother. Like, oh, hey, that's a cute top you're wearing there, Tracy. We're all nice and friendly and civilized. What happens when the fit hits the shan, right? How do we act? That kind of thing there. So, and there's some characters in this movie that realize that, not all people are going to be revealed as people you'd want inside your homestead. In fact, they might make you and your loved ones pay with your lives for actually letting them in. So just think of some of the plot devices in TV series like The Walking Dead, right? So you think you're being a friendly person, you're being charitable, you're doing what God would want you to do, and then next thing you know, you're dead. Okay, so stuff like that. So, and some people just can't comprehend that in this movie, and just want to let everyone into the homestead. And this movie may prompt you to think to yourself, what side in this conflict would I be on here, right? And Homestead, it does remind audiences, particularly in the first act, what absolute animals people can become when, they start to panic, when they start freaking out, and we saw that in real life, right? All over the world with the COVID pandemic. You had people hoarding toilet paper. Saw the videos of all these idiots, they're backing up their pickup trucks to Costco and they're grabbing all the toilet paper, hoarding it all, okay? Had other people, berating people in stores for not wearing their mask. And then you had others like outright saying that they're totally cool if unvaccinated people die. And that was all over a virus that killed less than 1% that got the actual virus, okay? I mean, not a nuclear apocalypse, right? A virus that kills less than 1% of who got it right there. And we had, all of that, just that flushing of civility right there. That's all it took, okay, is a virus like that. Can you imagine what people would be like based on the evil we saw during COVID, like the evil that I just described? Can you imagine what people would be like with the events depicted in Homestead, a nuclear detonation, power grid out nationwide and whatnot? So that would be on the cataclysm scale, that would be like, right up there. It'd be like, 1 to 10 scale right there, 10 being the most serious. That would be like an 8, 9 at least right there. The COVID, pandemic would be like a 2, 3, something like that. So now, of course, if you knew somebody that died from COVID, you're like, oh man, I know COVID pandemic's right at a 10. Well, you're kind of biased, okay? All right. So unfortunately, your loved one isn't the entire population, okay? Your loved one that died is very, very tragic, but it's anecdotal, okay? It's not the entire population of the world right there. So your opinion that the COVID pandemic is the worst cataclysm that's ever happened to the whole world, you're kind of biased, okay? Now, it's easy right now to say you just trust in God and play Mother Teresa to all who need help. But what would you do when everyone's world comes crashing down? Something to think about there. Everybody. It's tough. It's easy to say. It's easy to think like I would do the right thing here. I know myself. Like a lot of people, they look back at history and they're like, I would stand up to Hitler. Like you couldn't even stand up to Joe Biden mandating that you needed to get a experimental vaccine injected in your arm, or you couldn't even stand up to your boss at your work and say, no, I'm not getting that vax right there. So pardon me if I don't believe you when you say, oh, I'd stand up to Hitler, or I would be right there next to Rosa Parks on that bus. Like, no, you wouldn't. Who are you kidding? Just stop lying. Okay, no, you would not. Okay, so I mean, if you can't do that, especially if you believe everything that Lester Holt on NBC News, I'm just picking him out as an example, right there. Yeah, you're not critically thinking enough to have been that person that would have stood up to Hitler, right there. Not at all. All right, let's check the live chat right there. Again, just a reminder, you guys can get in the live chat and live chat with me. So hey, you know what? I say some provocative stuff sometimes, and so hey, the live chat is your perfect opportunity to get in the comments and go, hey, where do you get off, buddy, talking about that? Like, what you just said is asinine. What you just said is stupid. Or you could get in the live chat and say, hey, Van, you're spitting truth. You're wise beyond your years. You can do that as well if you like, as well in the live chat. So now go ahead, and if you're watching and you've got both hands free, they're available to live chat. You can just live chat. You have both hands free. You're not doing anything else, just watching the show. But you're not live chatting. You're what we call a lurker. Okay, I gotcha. And God bless you for watching the show. But if you could kind of nut up and go the extra mile and just get in the live chat and just give me at least a thumbs up or something, there you go. That would be totally cool right there. Now, if you're watching the show or listening to the show and you're making some meatloaf, and so you don't have both hands free, or you're behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler, well, yeah, then you can't live chat, okay, and you're not a lurker, okay, there. So yeah, don't try to live chat me while you're at the behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler. Don't do that. All right. But for right now here, real quick, let me do this here and let you guys know all about something that you guys really need to check out, and that is our tdpn.locals.com website. You see it right up there at the very tippy top of the screen, tdpn.locals.com. And you may be asking yourself, hey, Van, what is that tdpn.locals.com? Well, I shall tell you. So it is our website. It has all kinds of great content, like videos and blogs and articles, all about great things like movies and entertainment and, cocktail recipes, politics, hot button sizzling topics of the day that everybody's talking about. And you can check it out right there. And it's presented in a style that you will not find anywhere else. Okay. And then right now, as you see down below, if you put in the promo code TDPN right there, you're going to get 1 month free membership, man. Pretty sweet. And then after that 1 month free membership of VIP access, you just got to pay, a minimum of $3. And you're going to continue to have all access, carte blanche, VIP lounge access to tdpn.locals.com, because there are some things you can see if you don't pay anything right there, but you don't get to see everything. But if you pay at least $3 a month, you get to see everything. You're sitting up in the tdpn.locals.com VIP lounge with the rest of the VIPs, getting bottle service from the hot waitresses, and you're looking down at the peasants on the dance floor going, you don't have VIP access to this website like I do, losers. Okay, so if you want to have the awesome opportunity to do that, then yes, sign up, go to the website, and again, you get 1 month free of all that access with promo code TDPN, and then just a measly $3 a month after that. So check that out right there. All right. You snooze, you lose, everybody. And then also, if you would, while it's top of mind, hit that like button down there, if you would. Okay. Go ahead and just pump, just pump that like button, or let me rephrase. Just go ahead and just pummel that like button right there. There you go. Okay. Jump off the top rope and land squarely on that like button there, if you would. And then while you're down there in the button pressing mood, go ahead and hit that subscribe or follow button down there as well. If you haven't already. Now, if you already have, don't click it again, because then you'll unfollow me. All right. Don't do that. And then also hit that notification bell down there, so that you hear ding, 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 ding whenever there's a brand new episode of Movies America just for you. And then if you happen to be watching the recording of this later on, well, unfortunately for you, you can't live chat with me, but you can still communicate with me. We can still get the communication back and forth between us, because I do want to hear from you if you are checking this out later on. And first off, if you are checking out the recording of this, hi, how you doing? Thanks for watching. And in the comments down below is where you can go to start the line of communication between yourself and myself. Okay. And yeah, let me know, hey, is there something that I do during each episode that drives you absolutely batty? Or is there something that I do that you love? All right. And, or, also, let me know what you think of Homestead or whatever. Okay. Comments are down there for you. You can write whatever you want in there. I can't stop you. Okay. Not at all. Go crazy. Go nuts. All right, on that note here, I am going to take a swig off my brew right here, and I'm going to be talking about this brew a little later on here in brew review time. But let this be a reminder to you that, hey, if you are, if you're imbibing right now, hey, go ahead and toss one, take a little tug off of yours as well. Excellent. All right. So we need to talk more Homestead right there, okay? Because, yeah, I mean, no one wants to hear me talk about the like button all day long, right? No, not at all. But Neal McDonough, that you see right there, the biggest figure there in that Homestead poster right there. So I'm getting confused with Homeland from Showtime there. So and now that I said Homeland, now I'm really gonna get it confused. But Homestead right there. So Neal McDonough, the main guy in the Homestead poster right there. He plays billionaire Ian Ross, and he plays this billionaire named Ian Ross convincingly. And Ian Ross is basically just a man who's caught between two furiously impassioned schools of thought. Okay, so he has his wife Jenna, and she's played by Dawn Olivieri, if I'm saying that right. Jenna represents the trust in God that people are good and won't turn on those that chose to help them school of thought. That's the school of thought she represents. The leader of the special ops team that Ian has hired to protect his family and Homestead, Jeff Erickson, played by Bailey Chase, represents the cynical, suspicious, isolationist, let no one in school of thought. And Ian has built this homestead for the express purpose of being ready for something like the attack on the United States that you see here in the movie. If you're looking for outlandish, tear-soaked shows of emotion from Ian, the character of Ian in this, well, look elsewhere, okay? McDonough plays him as a sturdy, stoic man who you can believe had what it took to become a billionaire and then build this protective area right there. A lot of times, Neal McDonough in his roles, he does play it as kind of just this kind of a stone-walled or stony, kind of stoic, emotionless kind of way. It's kind of how he plays a lot of his characters right there, like, whether it was in Minority Report or Band of Brothers, or when he played the bad guy on Yellowstone there. So that's kind of how he played his roles there. So, pardon me. Dawn Olivieri, again, as his wife, Jenna, she's the narrator of the movie and really the spiritual core. Now, some will think of her as inspiring, and others, quite frankly, will just find her annoyingly naive. I think about how I thought Emily Blunt's character in Sicario was annoyingly naive. You got Benicio del Toro's character and some of the other special ops characters in Sicario. They basically, they take down like those cartel members, because those cartel members are about to smoke them, So the special ops, were like, well, we better gun them down because they're about to kill us, like kill or be killed, right? And so when they waste those cartel members, Emily Blunt's character is like, "What are we doing here?" As if she expected, like, "Oh, all the special ops guys should just wait to let the cartel members kill them first." Okay, annoyingly naive, right? And Olivieri is worlds different in this from her sexed up honeypot schemer character on Yellowstone. I think she was on that show like the last 2 or 3 seasons there. And then, of course, that brings us to the third leg in this trouble triangle, Bailey Chase. And Bailey Chase plays the Jeff Erickson character. And his Jeff Erickson character, he's seen some stuff. He's been out in the world. Okay, he's an ex-Green Beret, deployed all over the world. And quite frankly, he's seen what men can do to other men. And he's seen, I'm sure, some pretty grotesque things that probably have him sweating, in the middle of the night and waking up with nightmares and that kind of thing. And it's ingrained in him that we don't live in a world where everyone wants to hold hands and wear peace beads and dance around a tree singing John Lennon's Imagine, okay, no matter what Hollywood would have you think, okay? And that shapes his view on whether to let anyone, just anyone who shows up at the Homestead front gate, whether to let them in. And I mean, because it's not just him. It'd be one thing if it was just him at Homestead, but he's got his wife and his 3 kids are there with him, and he puts them in danger in his mind, just leaving things up to Hope, okay? And like Mark Wahlberg's character in Deepwater Horizon said, hope is not a tactic, okay? And he's absolutely right. It's not a tactic. It's easy to be, idealistic and just, we're just going to trust in the goodness of all mankind and that kind of thing. And that's just, it's completely naive right there. Dangerously so right there. It'd be nice. It would be sweet. Like in an ideal world, everybody in the world would be kind and charitable, and they could keep their crap together, in a catastrophe. But not all people are like that. Again, I hearken back to the COVID pandemic. We saw people wigging out again over a virus that killed less than 1% of the people that got it. Okay, now it did kill people. I'm not trivializing the people that COVID killed, but when you compare it to the population of the entire world, it's less than 1%. That's why I keep saying that. So, but again, very tragic, the people that it did kill. Right there. All right. Well, on that kind of depressing note right there, I think it's time to get into a little brew review time. All right. Let me introduce you to my new friend here today, the brew for today. And here it is right there. Let me get that right up there in your face right there. And that is a little Collective Arts Good Monster. And it's a double IPA. And that comes to us from our friends up in the 51st state, Canada, up there. So they always love hearing that, right? So, well, they brought it on themselves, all right? So don't screw us over in trade, and we'll stop making jokes, okay? Be a good neighbor, like State Farm, okay? And we'll stop telling jokes about you being the 51st state, okay? But, this is, we've got a little Collective Arts Good Monster. It's a double IPA, okay? So it's got a lot of hops in it, okay? And this is a New England style double IPA, to be honest with you. It's double dry hopped, and you are going to taste some citrus in this, but in a good way, okay? It's not too citrusy. You're going to get some tropical mango and passion fruit, some orange, some lemon. You're going to get some grapefruit flavors in here as well. I think you can. Oh yeah, you could smell the citrus. It's got a good, delicious citrus nose to this right here. Okay, but it's 8% alcohol by volume. That makes sense because of all the hops in this right there, and you're getting a pretty good, kind of a good amount of alcohol in here. And of course, as my camera decides to freeze up right there. I gotta love that. Yeah, pretty much froze up, didn't it? Yep. I got to reset that real quick here. But let me do this here real quick, and I am going to end this brew review time here abruptly to deal with my camera hardware troubles right here. So let's do it. All right. Yep. There goes the camera right there. So, yep. Bear with me just a moment here. It's a hazard of the trade. When you go live, you're at the mercy of the hardware. So, let me do this. All right, I think we're getting somewhere here. So let's do this and adjust this. And there we go. Appreciate you guys bearing with me right there. So yeah, when you go live, it's pretty much like stepping into a minefield. And occasionally you do step on a mine of hardware or software deciding to flake out on you there. And I think it has something to do with the operating system here too, because you saw that thumbs down crap going on there. Let me adjust that a little bit. Come on. There we go. All right, sounds good. So enough of that right there. Let's move on with the show right there. You guys don't want to have to deal with that. That always enhances every show that we do right here. All right, so let's do this here. I want to let you guys know about the merch that we have available here. We've got plenty of Movies Merica merch available for you. And so as you see up there at the very top left, there's a Movies Merica t-shirt. Now, it doesn't just come in black. You can get it in several different colors there. And the way that you can see that on your own is if you click on the merch link down at the bottom there, and you're going to see that we have much more than just Movies Merica t-shirts. We've got Movies Merica phone cases, Movies Merica yoga pants and shot glasses and all of that stuff right there. And you know what? Hey, we got Christmas coming up here. It might be a little too late to get it for Christmas, but hey, you could make somebody happy with a late Christmas gift or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or whatever, or Festivus. There, get them a late Christmas right there, because that happens to people, right? Christmas goes away, and like 2 or 3 days after Christmas, everyone's all depressed. Like, oh man, Christmas is over. I'm all depressed now. Well, you can be that hero that walks in, with that late gift. Go, hey, turn that frown upside down. Here's a present for you. The gift of a Movies Merica t-shirt right there. There you go. So you could be that guy or gal right there. That camera's really bothering me. Do this here. All right. That's a little better. There we go. All right. That's down too low. Let's fix that here. As you can tell, I'm very analytical, very particular about my camera placement right there. But yeah, get there. And as it says down below, put in promo code MOVIES when you order something there off the merch link in the description, and you're going to get free shipping. It's going to be pretty sweet, everybody. So get in there, get it done. All right. Moving on, onwards and upwards. Let's check the live chat here real quick. And hey, we got my man, I'm Sean Cav. Hey, right back at you. Appreciate you stopping by, and hopefully you're enjoying what you're hearing and seeing and all that kind of stuff there. And I should check my playback here on there, because I was, how you can look on your computer, you see like your Wi-Fi strength indicator, and my Wi-Fi strength indicator is showing pretty weak right now. So I'm not frozen up yet, but we will see. So don't be surprised if my internet goes back to 1997, 56K internet right there. And yeah, Sean's got the Christmas spirit in the live chat right there. So I think that's Mariah Carey right there. How dare you bring Mariah Carey into my show? I can't stand that song. Oh, but he's got Trump in there. He makes up for it right there. Hey, we got Sean Cav in there with the $10 Rumble rant thrown at my way. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. 1,000 thanks right there. And Merry Christmas to you, good sir. And that deserves a drink for that very generous $10 Rumble rant. So here we go. Hey, drink up, Sean. Christmas has never tasted so good. All right, where were we? See, it's kind of hard to transition from that awesome show of generosity from Sean right there. I think where we're at here is we were at going into some random thoughts that I had about Homestead right there. And this movie really could have used a bit of a bigger budget for things like a better score, better sound design, particularly with the gunfire in the biggest action set piece of the movie. Because I mean, literally, they have Jeff Erickson, the character of Jeff Erickson. He's firing a 50 cal machine gun, right? And the sound of the 50 cal is so weak, so wimpy. If you've ever heard a 50 cal fired in real life, it just sounds so weak and wimpy. They're a great example of the inverse of what we see in Homestead as far as the sound design, in a gunfight is the movie Civil War that came out earlier this year. And Civil War, at the very end, there's like a big attack on the White House and in D.C. and all that stuff. And the sound design with the gunfire in that scene in Civil War will just knock your socks off. I remember I saw that movie in IMAX. They had the big sound system in there. And just the gunfire was just cracking, just popping. And in Homestead, unfortunately, it's not popping, it's not cracking. It's more kind of like a little whimper. Okay, so imagine like your kitty cat sneezing. That's okay. Maybe it wasn't that bad, but but it could have used some better sound design. But probably would have needed a bigger budget for that. And then also it could have used a bit of a bigger budget for a more impressive visual representation of the nuclear blast itself. I mean, they were probably never going to be able to mimic the nuclear holocaust scene, from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Remember that scene there? But, do something better than they did. And then another random thought I had was one thing about this movie that scored points with me was the depiction of what a government bureaucrat would be like, in this catastrophe. Because you see a bureaucrat show up in this movie and, he wants to take like inventory of everything that Ian Ross is the billionaire that owns the Homestead. This government weasel wants to take inventory of everything that Ian has worked hard to acquire for the purpose of, practicing a little bad old communism and redistributing it to people that didn't do the hard work to get what Ian has. Okay. And this is just an example of when a government forgets that they work for the people, not the other way around. Okay. And we're seeing a lot of that in real life, aren't we? Where the government gets too big for their britches and they forget that, it's a government for the people and by the people. The government works for the people, but the government thinks, acts like, no, the people work for us. Okay. And unfortunately, you have too many people, in this country that sees government as a god. And so they're more than willing to play into the delusion that the government has that they are the boss, and when they say jump, we the people need to ask how high. So they forget that right there. All right, what do we got here real quick? And whoa, hey, absolutely, I love this 8-Bit Gamer 2022 with the $1 Rumble rant. You look like when Santa would be rejected by Mrs. Santa right there. Well, it's not very nice. I love it right there. But hey, you know what? I'll take your dollar all the same. Right there. There you go. But Your money spends your money coupled with the insult spends just fine. Regardless, right there, love it. All right, what else we got here? And let's do this here. Just want to let you guys know about a great sponsor that we have for the show. Because the show is enhanced by having a great sponsor like what we have here, and that sponsor is Flip City Magazine. And you may be asking yourself, like, what is Flip City Magazine? Well, Flip City Magazine replaces Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine. Remember Mad Magazine and Cracked back in the day? Those were magazines where you could grab one, read through it, take a look at it. You're like, wow, this magazine's hilarious. You could count on those magazines to give you at least a couple of good giggles to brighten your day. If you're having a bad day, your old lady's on your butt, or your old man's on your butt, or your boss is right in your ass, that kind of thing. And so you can count on those magazines, but unfortunately, they allowed themselves to get assimilated into the woke Borg, and now they're not in the cracking you up and making you laugh business. They're in the you need to learn to live this way, young man. Okay, these are the woke principles you need to live by, young man. They're in that business instead, but not Flip City. Flip City's only priority is to make you laugh your butt off, okay? But enough about hearing it from me. Let's hear it straight from them.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
Yo, all right. So yeah, didn't that tantalize you right there to get yourself some Flip City? And if it did, which it should have, we're making it very easy for you to subscribe to Flip City because we have got the Flip City link in the description down below. Okay, so get in there and click on that link and subscribe to Flip City because you know what? You're probably your family, your friends, they're probably already subscribed. All right, and you're the loser. That's left out in the cold by your inactivity. Okay, so and they're flipping through Flip City right now, laughing their butts off. But you're the one. You're the weak one in the gazelle herd. Okay, so but you don't have to stay that way. Okay, grab yourself some Flip City magazine and start the good times. And as you see down below, if you put in promo code movies, I'm going to get 10% off your order of the best non-woke comic around. All right. And just to let you know that I'm not just bullshitting you over here. I got myself some Flip City. Uno momento, por favor. As I beer burp, I know, very classy. Yeah, check this out. Flip City right there. Look at that. Very nice. Very nice. Very shiny. Very gleamy. All right. Just like a freshly waxed Corvette. Right there, or a freshly turtle waxed Ford Pinto. So there you go. Now, this is no Pinto. All right. This is like a McLaren right here. This is a Maserati. This is the Maserati of magazines right here. So Flip City, check that out. Got all kinds of great artwork. Look at that. Sports Infiltrated. Some great comics in there as well. Just flipping through there, and it's just so great to have like a magazine that you can have in your hand. That tangibility, if that is a word. There we go. If it's not, it's a word now. Okay, so yeah, check that out right there. All the content right there in a little Flip City magazine right there. So check that out, and you can get your hands on Flip City magazine now via the Flip City link in the description. So get down there now. Absolutely. All right. We're going to move on here, but real quick, let me check the live chat. And hey, we got Wendy Wild. All right. They don't call her Wild for nothing right there. So, yes. Ask her what makes her wild. And then, you know what, put your seatbelt on and enjoy the answer there. Yes. And she's giving me the otters. There you go. We got otters. We got Trump. We got Mariah Carey up in here. We got like just a cavalcade of characters in the live chat. And, you get to, get in there and you can see all that stuff yourself there. Get in the live chat right now and mix it up, okay? That is how we roll up in here. And real quick, just to let you guys know, no Movies America spoiler warning show this Thursday night right there, because it's a little too close to Christmas there. And so I figured, well, probably no one's going to want to check out the show there. They're probably going to be all depressed, from Christmas being over, or they're going to be hungover from too much rum in their eggnog, chugging it out of their Marty Moose glasses, Clark Griswold style, that kind of thing. So yeah, all that to say is, no Movies America spoiler warning this Thursday. And then there's going to be no Movies America Live a week from today either, okay? So a little too close to the Christmas holiday right there. So, all right, let's move on here with a little bit more Homestead, shall we? Okay. And I always like to, let everybody know, is the movie that I'm reviewing, is it a woke after school special, all right? Because I don't want you going out and, loading up all your urchins up into the car and, with your spouse, you're all, jumping in your ride. You guys all take the trek to the movie theater. You're plopping down, at least $15, a body for the movie. You gotta buy popcorn and candy, a big old cup of soda and all that stuff. And then you all get settled in. You get the kids all settled in. And then 10 minutes of the movie, you realize, oh, God, honey, this is another movie that's full of woke crap where they're preaching to us instead of entertaining us. I don't need a lecture. Why didn't somebody tell us this is a woke after school special? Why? And then your spouse will be like, oh, you know what, honey, my bad. I knew about this show called Movies America Live, and he talks about whether a movie is a woke after school special. But me, being the dumbass that I am, I didn't watch, and now we're stuck here. $250 poor. Now we got to watch this woke movie right here. If only they would have watched this show for $0, they could have saved themselves a whole heartbreaking situation right there. But is Homestead a woke after-school special? Not at all, as you would imagine. So movies from Angel Studios, quite honestly, they pride themselves in not allowing the scourge that is woke to defile them. Now, not everyone who saw this movie was happy with the non-woke messaging sent, okay? And just let me read a little from a review written by someone who probably doesn't have a whole lot of Ben Shapiro books on their shelves right there. So let's check this out real quick. And this comes to us from our friends here from the Wrap right there. Yes, and the Wrap right there. And you're probably going to want me to wrap this up here after I get done reading this. But so like right here, okay, so I'm not going to read the entire article. I'm just going to read a couple of blurbs. But like this one right here, it's like, it's easy to think of films like Homestead as if they live on the fringe of mainstream media. But though this particular film isn't a major studio release, they're hardly uncommon. Hit movies like Black Hawk Down and 300 have shamelessly vilified non-white antagonists, portraying them as fodder for heroic, mostly white hunks to mow down with impunity, sometimes in dramatic slow motion. Forrest Gump is a story of a man who does everything he's told to do, like joining the army and embracing capitalism and participating in anti-communist propaganda, and he becomes a great American success story. Meanwhile, the love of his life, Johnny, suffers decades of indignity by throwing in with anti-war protesters and Black Panthers, and for all their trouble, she dies of AIDS Wah, 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 wah. Okay. And so this cracks me up because, you know, how they say hit movies like Black Hawk Down and 300 have shamelessly vilified non-white antagonists. Like, Black Hawk Down is subbing in the Somalis, you know, like the Somalis weren't black, right? Like, this movie, this reviewer is acting like, no, the Somalis were all white dudes named Sven and Trevor. And Ridley Scott, the director of Black Hawk Down, decided to replace the white Somalis, you know, because all Somalis are white. Decided to replace all the white Somalis that we know in real life are all white, right? And replace them with non-white Somalis right there. Like, no, idiot. If you know the story of Black Hawk Down, if you know Somalia, they're black, okay? All right? So it's just reflecting the reality of the situation right there. Now, 300, you know, again, they were Persians, all right? That is history, okay? It's not like these people are making up the race. That was the race of these situations right here. But, you know, this is a person that lives in a world where he enjoys movies where the white people are the bad guy all the time, that kind of thing. So, and we're supposed to live this fantasy like no non-white people ever do anything wrong. They never harm anybody. They never trespass against anybody. They never commit crimes. Never, ever, ever. No, they're always good, wholesome people, while white people are always evil and breaking the law and slimy and subversive and, you know, whatever, you know, that kind of thing. So apparently, yeah, you know, this reviewer of the Wrap didn't like the movie right there. Let's see. There's another one here. Let's see that I wanted to check you out right here. And let's see. Okay, let's right there. Come on. There's one section here I really wanted to highlight here. Let's see here. It's all about like the government and that kind of thing. So it's in here somewhere. My mouse will work for me here. And let's do this. And there we go. I think this is it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's highlight that right there. And so it goes on to say, gloom and doom fantasies like Homestead take place in the very contrived situations where everything you've always feared and for which everyone mocked you for believing in finally come to pass. Oh no, the government is here to help in the form of a sniveling bureaucrat who wants to inventory Homestead supplies and redistribute them to people in need. That monster. So can you feel the snark in this writing just a wee bit? Thank God we bought the Tesla with the bioweapon defense mode. That wasn't paranoid at all there. So again, this is this writer is one of those that, you know, basically is a commie, okay, and wants basically just to take other people's property and just redistribute it to other people there. So again, another example of the government forgetting the bedrock principle that they work for us, not the other way around right there. And you see that in this movie there. But that's just one of those things I wanted to share with you and let you know that, yeah, not everybody is happy with the message. Now, further on in that article, though, you'll see that the reviewer does say that there are some good parts to the movie. But again, the part of that reviewer that isn't rushing out to buy any of Ben Shapiro's books kicked in and doesn't like the fact that these guys are prepped and ready for a catastrophe, and they just don't want to take all their stuff and just redistribute it like a communist compound there. So, but yeah, so that's my little take on whether the movie is a woke after school special. And it's all good because this movie has absolutely no woke. And that's the one good thing, or at least one good thing you can count on from Angel Studios there. Real quick here, just to let you guys know. Now, if you guys are appreciating me doing things like warning you away from movies if they have anything woke in them, or you're appreciating the Brew review, that I showed you there earlier, enough to maybe throw $1 my way or $10 like Sean did there, then hey, you can do that very easily. So if you're watching in Rumble or on Rumble, all you got to do if you want to throw a little cashola my way is down by where you type in your live chat message, just click on the button with the $sign on it, and it'll just ask you how much you want to donate. Very easy. That's all there is to it. Now, if you're checking me out on YouTube, then what you can do is down again by where you type in your live chat message, click on the button that has a $1 bill on it. And again, it'll ask you how much you want to donate. And that's it. Very easy. Okay. So on YouTube, it's called a super chat. And on Rumble, it's called a Rumble rant there. So, but both ways are ways that you can throw $1 or $2 or $5 or $10 or $100 my way, but only if you feel like doing it. I'm not going to be on here sounding pathetic and begging you for money or telling you you're not classy if you don't throw money my way. How pathetic does that sound, right? Because I hate that when other content creators do that. They don't realize how pathetic they sound when they do that. So I am not. I sound pathetic for other reasons. I'm not going to sound pathetic for that reason. All right. I mean, because like Mrs. Claus rejecting me, as 8-Bit Gamer 2022 said. That's one reason I sound pathetic there. So, but my final thoughts with with Homestead is I would check this movie out. It's worth checking out. There. I mean, it's entertaining enough. Again, like I said, it could have used a bit of a bigger budget there, and hopefully someday Angel Studios, they're coming out with a lot of movies, and they will get somebody. They'll get like a billionaire, like maybe Elon Musk or some other conservative billionaire to really help invest in movies like this from Angel Studios, where they can make a big budget movie that looks very, very impressive. Now, Homestead, don't get me wrong, it doesn't look terrible. I mean, it's got some pretty good cinematography with it, but for a movie that features a nuclear detonation and the world falling apart and that kind of thing, it just felt a little too small because it didn't have the budget to make this catastrophe look as big as it really would be in real life right there. But that's the thing that leftists and communists have over us is they have plenty of rich people that are willing to drop millions, if not billions, on their propaganda or on their projects or whatever, where conservatives are billionaires a little stingier, okay? If they invest $100, they want $100 back, and if they get $99 back, they stop investing. They want a 1-to-1 return on their money, where with leftist billionaires, it's just about spreading the message. I mean, they want some money back, but it's more about spreading the message and that kind of thing. So, but anyway, enough about that. That's my final thoughts on Homestead. Go check it out there. So let's check out the live chat here. Make sure I'm not missing anybody there. And no, I think we're good to go. And we're getting ready to wrap this bad boy up. But again, whatever platform you're checking out this episode on, whether it's Rumble or YouTube, or you check it out on X later on, go ahead and follow me there. Follow me on those platforms. I'm under @MoviesMerica on those platforms. I'm on Facebook, Gab, Rumble again, all under the handle of @MoviesMerica. And then if you follow me, let me know. Just DM me on X under my @MoviesMerica profile. Just DM me in there and just say, hey, Van, I followed you on this platform and that platform and that platform, and I will follow you back because you did me a solid. You scratched my back. Now I'm going to scratch your back, but in the most platonic way possible. Okay, so don't get excited. All right. All right, so we are getting ready to wrap this up here, if I can talk correctly. There we go. Let's take this down right there. There we go. I got to get my ducks in a row. I got to cross my T's and dot my I's. But like I always say, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
leave yet. Okay? Hey, I got just enough time. I got the police after me, okay? And, oh man, they're gonna get me at any time. I got just enough time to ask you to like this video and also subscribe to this channel if you would, man. You'd be doing me a big favor, okay? And please make sure to like these videos or watch them and then like them, okay? That'd be great. And again, thanks for watching, okay? And subscribe to the Till Death Podcast Network and Movies Merica. I gotta go.